Certainly, all of life works just for your good. Today is the last Tuesday in August 2020, and you are warmly welcome to Hour of Awakening and Empowerment. This program is brought to you by Ethereum Mission International, the Center for Spiritual Empowerment. We come your way every Tuesday and Thursday to awaken ourselves to who and what we are as spirit beings. You are live on a 24 radio, Ethereum and Abrabopa radio. Wow. I am almost forgetting my tree. Abrabopa radio. Today on the show, we have Brother King Harold Amarquaye with the topic, The Glory of Life. Let's link up with Harold. Hello? Harold?
Yes, Dorcas. How are you doing?
Well, I'm fine. I'm very happy to meet you once again. I miss you.
Same here. I'm also very happy to speak and meet you today.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing excellent. I'm just enjoying myself in life and seeing everything happening to me as God that is happening in and as everything. So yes, it's been a wonderful time and I'm enjoying every bit of it. How about you?
I am God alive for God. God alive for God. What
That's
are
nice.
you?
That's nice. I am the love, caring, and kind Spirit of God, ever giving service to ensure that the promotion of love and peace is manifested onto the world.
Beautiful. How is the Ethereum 43rd anniversary celebration going?
It's been wonderful so far. Just last Sunday, we had the cultural day, and it was just a spectacle, a nice, beautiful scene, and it was a colorful ceremony. We had two parts. The first part was the message that was delivered by the chief priest of the Gan State and our own Brother Ishmotete, and it was such a wonderful and insightful, educative first session. We got to understand some of the practices, or the traditional practices and cultural practices of the various ethnic groups and even the various religions. We also had the opportunity to observe some of the traditional practices by the three major ethnic groups in the country. That's the Ga, the Fanti or Akan, and the Ewes. And also for the second part of the cultural day, we had the Deba, and it was just a beautiful scene with drumming, dancing, food display. It was just a nice sight to behold. So yes, the 45th anniversary has been a wonderful anniversary so far. We've enjoyed ourselves, we've learned a lot, and we are looking forward to the coming Sunday to crown it all up.
Awesome. I had the opportunity to also join service. In fact, I decided to join Ethereum mission and forgo the normal service I've been attending over here. And I must say, I really enjoyed myself. I was watching with some friends and they were amazed. Wow, chief priest, etc. in the whole church. I said, yes, that's Ethereum mission. So it was nice. I was just looking out to see you, but unfortunately, I didn't see you in any of the pictures posted on the page, and when I was also watching live on Facebook, I didn't chance on you. I didn't see you anywhere. I was expecting to see you dance. Why?
I was somewhere there. I have participated fully in all the programs, so I was just somewhere there. It just happens that maybe the camera did not capture me.
Okay. If you say so. Over to you, Harold, as you take us to your topic, the glory of life.
Thank you very much, Dorcas, and welcome to Hour of Awakening. I welcome you to Ethereum Mission, the Center for Spiritual Empowerment. Our vision is that of a unified world in which everyone is a catalyst that is activating and promoting the innate good in one another. Please join us to raise such a consciousness. Imagine a world in which the good that I am calls for the good that you are, and the good that you are also calls for the good that I am. Hence, if I find some good in you, I call it forth. And if you find some good in me, you also call it forth. Imagine the kind of world we'll be living in. A beautiful, joyous, loving world. And this is the world that I invite you into. Ethereum Mission in Ghana is located on the General Ankara High Street Highway next to the Goyle Filling Station at Sakaman, Accra. Our telephone numbers are 0264 177 633 and 0548 177 633. They are also our WhatsApp numbers. So if you are interested to be on any of our WhatsApp platforms, you can just continue and receive messages from us. You can just reach us and we'll add you to the WhatsApp platform. These numbers are also our mobile money numbers. So if you are touched by the work that we are doing and you want to donate support, you can also support or donate using these same numbers. Also in Ghana, our Takoradi branch is located on the Daves Street in the Anaji Estate. And the telephone number is 0561 166330. And if you are in Kumasi, you're also welcome to fellowship with us at the Derba Court Hotel behind Dr. Badi in Adiembra, Kumasi. And the telephone number is 0561 166331. And in the UK, we have a branch also at the 58 Courage Park Avenue in Mitcham, Surrey. And the postcode is CR42DJ. and the number is 020-6646-129. Let me take it again. 020-6646-129. God bless you and welcome to Hour of Empowerment. So like the topic says, the glory of life. The glory of life. We are living in a glorious existence. We are living in a glorious life. And to not appreciate and enjoy all the benefits and all the goodies that this life has to offer, it's a great self and even unto the Creator that created you. The glory of life. Now, the process of spiritual awakening depends on the choice of the individual. But in the long run, the result is the same, irrespective of the experience or background. The process of spiritual awakening, the journey towards salvation, is dependent on the individual, is dependent on the choice of the individual. But in the long run, at the end of the day, the process or the result is the same, irrespective of your culture, irrespective of your race, irrespective of your ethnicity, irrespective of your religious background, your educational background. At the end of the day, you shall see salvation. You shall experience salvation. You shall be awakened spiritually. That is why in Luke 3:16 we are told, or we are reminded, that all of humanity shall see God's salvation. All of humanity shall see God's salvation. This is telling us that whether you see the salvation of God in this lifetime, or you see the salvation of God in 3 lifetimes to come, or you see the salvation of God in about 10 lifetimes to come, you shall see the salvation of God. You shall be saved. But the question is, how fast do you want to see the salvation of God? How urgent do you want the salvation of God to manifest or to be experienced by you? That is the question that we have to ask ourselves. That is why it's saying that the process of spiritual awakening is dependent on the individual. But the result is the same for everyone. But the process is dependent on each individual. The speed with which you attain spiritual awakening is dependent on you. It's dependent on how easy and is dependent on how good and how easy you are able to align yourself with your true vision and your true mission in order to what? Fast track your salvation. That is dependent on you. So to be alive in the awareness of your true and essential nature is the first as well as the last step towards spiritual awakening. To be alive, to be conscious, to be alive and working in the awareness of your true and essential nature is the first step towards salvation, and it is also the last step in your journey towards salvation. So this is telling us that at every stage in your journey towards salvation, realization, being conscious and being aware of your true and divine natures is very significant. And that is what is going to impact your journey towards salvation. The moment you are not aware of your divine self, the moment you are not aware of your innate God virtues, the moment you are not aware of the goodness that was placed in you at the beginning of time, it means you have missed the mark. It means the process of salvation now becomes longer than it should be. So being alive and conscious of the inner virtues, your in Christ-born virtues within you, is the first step as well as the last step on your journey towards salvation. Now, when you have such an understanding, it brings you to the awareness that life comes from life. You have emerged from this life. Life is coming from life itself. And you are a unit of life. And you came here from life to serve for the promotion of life. When you realize that now the first step towards your journey, towards spiritual awakening, is the what? Realization and conscious awareness of your innate God virtues and the expression of these innate God virtues to exude onto life. When you are aware of this knowledge, when you are aware of this truth and you are living in this truth, you then realize and come to the understanding that life comes from life. You are the wholeness of life in expression. So you have come from life. And coming from life, you are a unit of life. And what is your role or your duty here? Your duty here is just to serve for the promotion of life. So this makes you understand that this life is just not about you. This life you are living is not about you. We have heard several times, I'm sure we've heard several times in several situations where we are being told that this body of ours is not for us. And it will get to a point where we would have to what? Die and leave this body. And the spirit what? Continues to what? To the spiritual world. Now, I'm here to tell you that this life you are living is not about you. It is not about you. It has never been about you. And it is never going to be about you. So how can you think for a moment that you own your life? How can you think for a moment that you own your life when you cannot even create a strand of hair on your head? At what point do you begin to hit your chest and say, I own my life? When everything that you are having, when everything that is on you, everything that you have, everything that you are, is what? Is something that was what? Given to you for a purpose. At what point do you say that you own this life? Life is not about you. It has never been about you, and it is not going to be about you. So wake up from the thinking that you own your life and that you can use it for whatever you desire. Rise up from that thinking and renew your mind. We've read even in the Bible where, the rich man at a point had all the money and he said, now I have everything that I need. So I'm going to what? I'm going to enjoy it, rest, sleep. Then what did God say? You fool, today I am coming for what? Your soul. It means you do not own your life. You do not own what you have. Whatever you have has been given to you by the existence that you are in. The very life that we call the creative, loving, intelligent energy that we choose to call God. Everything that you have has been given to you by life, including your own very life, for a purpose. So when you do not awaken to that purpose and begin to live in the fulfillment of that purpose, and you feel that now you have gained all the material things in the world, so now you have reached the pinnacle of success, so now you own life. When you speak, everybody listens. When you smile, the whole world has to stop and acknowledge that smile. When you feel you have reached that point, so now you own your life, that is the point where life will not tell you that, no, shut up. I have given you this life for a purpose. So if you are not going to use your life for that purpose, for that reason, then I might as well just take back that life. What gives you life is life. What gives you life is life. Now, look around you. There are 4 obvious things in life that gives you life, that you do not have any hand in. The air that you breathe. In fact, the air breathes you. You do not breathe the air breathes you. And in breathing you, the air is giving you life. We drink the waters for nourishment. that is giving you life. The very warmth of the sun keeps you alive. And the stability of the earth keeps you stable, that consequently keeps you alive. These are the 4 very obvious things in life that you have no hand in, but are working tirelessly day and night to keep you alive. So that which gives you life is life. So you realize that even without any one of these 4 things mentioned, you have no life. So how can you say for a moment that you own this life? The glory of life, the beauty of life. We are just here to serve for the promotion of life. That which gives you life is life. I want us to awaken to this realization. I want us to awaken to this truth. So that every day you wake up appreciating the very air that you breathe, the very waters that you drink for nourishment, the very earth that you stand on, the very sun that shines. You wake up every day blessing that which gives you life. You wake up every day in a joyful mood because, yes, it's a new day. It's a new experience of these energies, these elements. It's a new day to experience, to gain something new, to gain something wonderful, refreshing from these 4 elements. It's always a new day in God's kingdom. That is the life that we are being called on to. That is the glory of life that we have to awaken and begin to experience and live in. So now what is spiritual awakening? Spiritual awakening is what? The unfoldment and the expression of the beauty that constitutes your very nature. Spiritual awakening is the what? Unfoldment and the expression of the beauty that constitutes your very nature. Now, what constitutes you? What are the spiritual elements that constitute you? What are the spiritual virtues that constitute you? Love, joy, peace, kindness, wisdom, caring, creativity, intelligence. These are the qualities that constitute your very being. And the expression of these qualities bring a beautiful scene, bring a beautiful sight. So spiritual awakening is what? Is the constant expression or unfolding of the beauty of the natures that constitute your very being. Such an understanding brings you to the realization that all of life, from the manifested onto the non-manifested world, is made up of one basic substance. When you have awakened spiritually, and the beauty of your God natures is constantly being expressed and unfolding to touch and impact all of life. And now all of life is amazed and in awe of the beauty that is constantly exuding from you. Rising to this level of understanding brings you to the realization that there is one single thread that runs through all of life, the seen and the unseen. There is one single thread that runs through all of life. And that is the thread of the creative, loving intelligence we choose to call God. That is the thread that runs through the seen and the unseen world. The very energy that is animating all of life, including your very being. That realization allows you to appreciate the glory of life. It allows you to appreciate the exalted nature of life. Because now you begin to realize that your life is not of this earth. Your life is not of this earth. You are in an energy space that is beyond human understanding. You are no longer affected by the worldly things. Because that single thread that connects all of humanity, that connects the planets, that connects the galaxies, that connects the universes. It's that same very thread that is connecting you. That is connecting you to the experience of joy, to the experience of goodness. Living in this awakening, living in this realization means now you are now living beyond human understanding. So though you may be here on this earth, you are not on the earth. Because your consciousness has been elevated to a greater experience of good and of God. All of life is God in expression. All of life is that single thread in expression. Awakening to the realization of your unity with that single thread is the very glory of life. Is the very spiritual awakening that we are seeking to experience. Now, when you look at coal, when you look at graphite, when you look at diamond, all these are different in their composition and in their function. Yet, their substance is simply carbon. Coal, graphite, diamond, they are all different in composition and in function, but their basic substance is carbon. The basic substance of louver blades, the Pyrex bowl, the bottle, the tumbler, and the windscreen, and even your spectacles is glass. Now, when you look at the human body, look at the various shapes, look at the various sizes of human beings, but there's one single liquid that runs through all of humanity with a single color. The blood, with the color red. You may go to China and cut the body of a Chinese, you still see red blood. You come to Africa, cut the body of an African, you still see red blood. You go to Asia, cut the body of an Asian, you still see red blood. A single thread. The louver blade, the Pyrex bowl, your spectacles, different designs, different shapes, a single substance, glass. What is this telling you? There is a single thread that is running through all of life. There's a single energy that is animating every single thing that you see in life. That single thread is God. And awakening to the unity of this single thread is the very glory of life, is the spiritual awakening that we are desiring and that we are seeking to experience. So therefore, all things and all substances, organic and inorganic, are extensions of one another. And God is the basic thread that runs through all things. Awakening to this realization that my brother is an extension of me. My colleague at work is an extension of me. The Muslim is an extension of me. The Hindu is an extension of me. The Buddhist is an extension of me. The one living in Iraq is an extension of me. The ant is an extension of me. The tree is an extension of me. The mountains is an extension of me. The clouds is an extension of me. The sun is an extension of me. When you realize and awaken to this realization and to this knowledge and begin to live in oneness and in unity with this single thread that runs through all of life, awakening to this realization is the glory of life. Hence my topic, the glory of life. Because if you do not awaken to this realization, it means you cannot enjoy the goodness that life is offering. You cannot enjoy the peace that life is offering. Because guess what? You are suspicious every time. You do not have the peace of mind to think, to create, to be yourself, to exude the God virtues that you are here to exude. Because you feel that your brother is on your neck and your brother is what? Thinking of ways to attack you. Not arising and coming to this realization of that single thread that runs through all of life, it means you have now become what? Separate from the all good that is ever exuding from the other person. In the traditional system, particularly in the Ga land, we are told that if you want to speak to God, speak to the wind, speak to the air. How is that possible? Because in the traditional land or in the traditional energy, we acknowledge God as every single thing in life. We acknowledge God as the air. So if you want to speak to God, speak to the air. And you have spoken to God. If you want to hear God's voice, listen to that baby, to that child. Why? Because that single thread runs through all of life. And God can speak to you through any and everyone. That is the oneness of life. That is the glory of life. That is the unity of life. And that is the life that we are called to live. You will be living in the awareness of your true nature and the oneness of life by constantly reminding yourself of the truth that I am a life-giving spirit, expressing the image and likeness of God in and as all of humanity. I am a life-giving spirit, expressing the image and likeness of God in and as all of humanity. We are told in Genesis that we were created in the spiritual image and likeness of God, meaning we look and behave like God. We carry the DNA of God. That single thread, right from the beginning of time, you have been told that that single thread passes through you. The God thread, the creative, loving, intelligent thread of life passes through you, passes through the other person, shows the connection that you have with the other person. Living in this realization allows you to live in peace. Because what? You are constantly what? Expressing the life-giving energy, the life-giving virtue of God as all of life. This is the life, this is the world, this is the energy, this is the consciousness that I welcome you into. So for today, we are just here to appreciate the very glory, the very awakening of ourselves as all of humanity. You look at your brother and you know that that is me going there. Because what? The thread of life is that which animates your brother, that which animates your sister, that which animates every single thing in life. So for you not to acknowledge, for you not to awaken to this realization means that your life is just going to be filled with uncertainty. Because you are never sure of your brother, because you are never sure of your sister. But that surety comes in the awakening of your soul to the oneness of life. And that is the true glory of life. That is the true celebration of life. That is the true exaltation of life. That is true spiritual awakening. For our practice, we shall give some very quick responses to the following prompts several times until you have come out with at least 5 responses for each of these prompts. Now, you repeat the process slowly, meditating and embodying the vision of your ideal state that comes from each of the responses or revelations. So I'm going to give or state 2 prompts, and we are going to what? Meditate on these prompts several times, embodying the vision that comes with the meditation on the prompt, embodying the God ideal state, the God ideal self that comes from meditating on these responses. And we'll try and obtain at least 5 responses 5 ideal states that will what? That will reveal or show themselves forth unto you whilst you are meditating on these prompts. And the first prompt is, when I am God realized and God fulfilled, what is that like? When I am God realized and God fulfilled, what is that like? When you have awakened to the connectedness of your life with all of life, and you are now God-filled, God-centered, God-realized, what is that like? What is that like? When I have awakened to my God self, and I am now God-filled and God-realized, I am one with all of life. The very voice of God becomes the very voice of my life, and whatever I speak manifests. When I have become God realized and God fulfilled, I am in constant sync with my true inner self. And the very vision of God is the very vision of my life. And I am working day and night, celebrating and anchoring this very vision of God unto humanity. When I am God revealed and God fulfilled, I am at peace with every single member of my family. And everyone is free to come to me to learn from the knowledge and from the wisdom that is constantly being shared and being exuding from me. So as you meditate on these prompts, then you come out with at least 5 responses of your ideal God self. And the second prompt is, when I am the immortal legacy of divine good, what is that like? When I am the immortal legacy, the eternal legacy of divine good, what is that like? When my good has become eternalized, when my good has become immortalized, when my good has now been rebirthed in the souls and in the lives of millions of people, what is that like? When this has happened, I am always alive. I am never dead, because my very energy and my very being and spirit and consciousness is very present in all of the people that my life has touched. So I am immortal. I am eternal. My consciousness lives in and as all of humanity. It means I am one with death and I have overcome death. Meditate on these prompts. You may choose to do this whilst going to bed as the last thing you choose to do, so that as you meditate on these prompts, this meditation allows you to go into sleep. And then when you go into sleep, it moves into the subconscious mind. And there you can now what? Recreate your life. Recreate your life according to the ideal state, the ideal Christ state. So preferably you may do this at night, the last thing before you go to bed, so that as you recreate your life anew. The next morning, you wake up refreshed, knowing that I am the very sustenance of God that is stepping out today. And anyone that meets me today is being provided with what he or she needs. How that is going to happen, you do not know. But the very sustenance of life is going to work through you and is working through you. The very provision of God, God the provider, Jehovah Jireh, is working through you today. Because you have recreated this whilst asleep. So now that is what your consciousness knows. Your consciousness knows that I am the God of provision today. I am the God of love today. I am the God of wisdom today. And you know you are going out providing service. And the service you are providing is for the promotion of life, because you are a unit of life. So if you promote life, you are promoting no other person but yourself. That is the glory of life. That is the beauty, that is the celebration of life. And that's the life that we have been called on to experience. Because we're created in the spiritual image and likeness of God. To move away from this truth is to move away from your own birthright. Capture this knowledge, capture this thinking, capture this consciousness, and begin to move in the knowing that I am just but an extension of all of life. And the single thread of life that moves through all of history and all of life is that same single thread that moves and animates me. This is the life that I call you to experience. This is the life that I call you to celebrate. This is the glory of life. This is the story of your life. This is the story before you came onto this earth. So wake up and experience this glory of your life. God bless you.
God bless you. God bless you. That was amazing. If you just joined us, this Hour of Awakening and Empowerment brought to you by International. You are live on Amarquaye Radio, Ethereum, and Amarquaye Radio. The topic for discussion this evening is the glory of life, and the speaker is Brother King Harold Amarquaye. Harold. Hello. Okay. So if you're in the US
Hi, Lucas.
and you want to join us, you have some questions. Okay. Hello, Harold. You are back. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I can hear you, Lucas.
Okay. Okay, so I want to give the phone numbers out for our listeners, our viewers, those who would like to ask their questions. I want to give the phone lines where they can also send it. So if you're in the US, you can get us on 00131 563 6063. 00131 563 64063. If you're outside of the UK, you can get us on 004402 08144 8180. And if you're in the UK, 02081448180. You can as well send your questions and contributions on Facebook if you're watching us live, or on our Skype at 24 Radio. And our brother will do justice to your questions. Harold, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
If you can hear me, great. I would like to know what motivated you, what brought this topic up?
Okay, so this topic, I chose this topic because when you look in life, you see a lot of people not happy generally because they are always looking over their shoulders. You can have all the money in the world, but that joy, but that peace that you are craving for which you work tirelessly day and night to obtain money, so that when you obtain that money, you can enjoy that peace, that happiness, that beauty, or whatever you want to enjoy. You obtain all the money in the world, but still, that peace, that joy is missing. You see several high-profile people. You see several low people, medium people, several classes of people not enjoying life as they should. You see, life is a simple experience. Life in itself is a simple, easy experience. But when you do not awaken to your oneness with life, and you don't see yourself as the very extension of your brother, then it means every single day you are thinking of what next is my brother going to do? What next is my sister going to do? What next is he going to do? What next is she going to do? that does not guarantee you peace. It doesn't guarantee you joy. And you see that in a lot of places, in a lot of circumstances. So my motivation is just simply a wake-up call that I'm making to all of humanity, that begin to see that single thread that connects all of us, that connects me to you, that connects you to the ant, that connects you to the tiger, to the mountains, to the sun, to the plants. That connection, waking up and rising to that connection and living from that state of, okay, I know my brother is an extension of me, so I'm at peace with myself because I'm at peace with my brother. That level of thinking is that level where you can now guarantee for yourself peace, eternal peace, and the celebration of life. That is the only glory of life that you are here seeking to be. All other things are just what? Things to help you to achieve that celebration of glory of life. So my motivation is humanity in itself.
Lovely. That's very important. And we thank you for awakening us to the situation. So your topic says the glory of life. I'm just wondering, what is life? Life.
Life is your very existence. Life is the story that you decided to write from the moment you were born till now and till the time that you would leave this earth. Life is the expression of beauty. Life is the expression of love, joy, peace, understanding, goodness, prosperity, abundance. Life is simply existence. Life is every single thing that you see. Every single thing that you see has that single thread of God connecting it. So that single thread of God that is connecting you to every other thing in life is life. That is why in my message I said that which gives you life is life. So if the air is giving you life, that is life. If the water is giving you life, that is life. If the earth is giving you life, that is life. If the sun is giving you life, that is life. Without any of these elements, we are not alive. We are no longer alive. So every single thing that you see around you that gives you life, without you doing anything to bring that into motion, is life. The very air that you are breathing is life.
Emmanuel from Finland is asking. He says you made a statement. Life is not about you. So he says, why? Why is life not about us? He doesn't understand that statement. Can you clarify that for him?
Good. Every single one of us came to life with a purpose. Nothing in life happens by chance. You did not emerge from life by chance. You emerged from life with a purpose, with a mission and a vision. And it is that mission and vision that is supposed to guide your very experience of life. So if nothing happens by chance in life, your coming here is for a purpose and it's for a reason. So, and that reason is for the promotion of life. That reason is not for the promotion of yourself, because your very self, you are also a unit of this life or this very existence. And your mission or your vision, when fulfilled, is for the promotion of life. So it is not about you and about what is going to make you happy. If what is going to make you happy is not in alignment with that mission and vision with which you came into this world with, then it means it is not for the promotion of life. Then it means you have missed the mark. So that mission and that vision for which you came into this life with is that which should move your every thought, is that which should move your every action, is that which should move your every thinking, your every feeling, your every word that you say, your every step that you make should be moved by that greater vision, that greater mission that you have, that is for the promotion of the whole of life. Because a drop of ocean is what? Is a unit of the ocean. The drop of ocean does not satisfy its own personal gaze. It is for what? The fulfillment of the mission or the vision of the whole ocean. So if you are in the ocean of life and you are a unit of this life, you are here in service for the promotion of the macro, the huge life for which you are a unit of. So you cannot count yourself out. You cannot move away from this mission and say that you are following your own personal mission. That is missing the mark, and that is not going to what? Take you to the glory of life or the celebration of your spiritual awakening or the experience of the heaven that you want to experience. So this life is not about you. It's about the macro life and your role in what? In moving the very macro vision or the macro mission into fulfillment. That is your role. That is your duty for which you are here.
Awesome. So Papa Smiley says, and I quote, "When you understand the glory of life, you seek your happiness in the interest of other units of life and not at the expense of other units of life." Do you agree?
Can you come again?
Papa Smiley says, and I quote, "When you understand the glory of life, you seek your happiness in the interest of other units of life and not at the expense of other units of life."
That's very true. That's very true. When you attain this glory of life and you have now arisen to the realization that there is oneness of life and that single thread connects all of life, the very seeking of happiness, the very seeking of prosperity would never be at the expense of another. Because you know that whatever you are doing to the other person, you are doing to yourself. Because you and the other person are connected by that same thread. So nothing in life is at the expense of another person. Everything is in their interest. Because you begin to realize that I am one with my brother, I am one with my sister. Why would I do something to hurt my brother or my sister? I'm more or less hurting myself.
Beautiful. Let's acknowledge some of our viewers on Facebook. We have Rebecca Tete, Ameluwashi Kekeli Ubimte, Nana Eko Mensa, and Usman Nikwe. Beautiful. Mary in the UK says, "You made a statement. God is the basic thread. God is the basic thread." So she wants to know who or what is God?
God is this very existence. God is the very existence that we live in. God is everything. God is everything that we know and that we may not even know. You see, our minds cannot even fully comprehend the vastness of even of this universe. And God goes beyond this universe. So if you ask me, what is God? I'll say God is the very existence that we live in. The very existence that we are calling as life is God. So life is God. Everything in life is God. Every single thing in life is God. Because if God is the very existence, then it means everything that exists in the very existence should have an expression of God in it. So God is the existence, and everything within the existence meaning that you are God, I am God, everything you see around you is God, and everything that you can ever imagine God to be is God.
Sister Rosemond, Nikwe, she says, my heart is filled this night as I hear this message, and she claps for you, saying super. And now a commenter says, bravo, my brother. The last question is from Belinda in the US. She says, I quote, hey, Dorcas, how old is this guy and how long has he been an Ethereum? How old is this guy and how long has he been an Ethereum? Can you answer that?
Well, I've been an Ethereum all my life.
You could leave your age.
I have been an Ethereum all my life.
How long have you been?
I was in Ethereum mission. So I have been an Ethereum all my life. So if you want to know my age, you can just know the age of Ethereum mission, and that will tell you my age.
You are 45.
Ethereum mission is celebrating 45 years.
Okay. So that's my personal question. What teaching? I mean, we have a lot of teachings in Ethereum mission, a lot of teaching sermons that they have touched you so much. But which of them has impacted your life as a person?
There's one teaching by Brother Ishmael that has impacted my life that I'll continue to speak of every single time, and that is EMAT 04. EMAT 04. Ethereum Mission Application Technology number 4. It's and under that the topic under the whole EMAT 04 study is using your sexual energy for studying or for learning. That particular topic under EMAT 04 has been of great benefit to me, because that was what I used from childhood in learning, and right from senior high school through university, through my work, and even pursuing or going into my master's. That is what I'm still using. So if you ask me what the topic or the technologies in Ethereum mission that has been of great benefit to me, then it will be EMAT 04, using of your sexual energy to learn. It has been my rock since childhood.
Awesome. How can one get that book if someone wants to get EMAT 04?
Oh, you can just reach out to the secretariat. You can reach out to the secretariat and you would have a copy. The numbers I mentioned early on at the beginning of my message, you can just reach out to any of the numbers, reach out to the secretariat, and then you just order a copy for yourself.
I know the leader and founder of Ethereum Mission has a lot of books. Apart from the EMAT 04, which other book would you recommend to, people who would like to walk the path of spirituality?
The other book I'd like to, actually there are two books, The Way Forward and The Fountain of Life. The Way Forward and The Fountain of Life. These are the two books that are my personal favorites, because almost all the teachings that I share, I get great inspiration from these two books, The Way Forward and The Fountain of Life, because these books contain principles of life and wisdom of the ages and experiences of Brother Ishmael himself, that when you read and when you study and you also apply in your life, then it means you're on the path. You're on the path towards celebrating the glory of life. You're on the path to spiritual awakening. You're on the path to recognizing and appreciating your innate virtues and allowing them to exude. So that as they exude, then it touches all of humanity, and humanity is also now beginning to awaken to their spirituality. So I'd say The Way Forward and The Fountain of Life.
That is really brilliant. I mean, I kept making notes and reflecting on all that you have said. And I've really learned a lot from you. In a sentence, I mean, or 2 words, what do you leave with us this evening?
What? Can you come again?
In a sentence or 2, I mean, a simple statement or something you would like to leave with us this evening.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. The simple thing I'd like to leave with viewers and everyone watching and listening right now is this life is not about you. Get out from that knowledge and begin to work your own salvation out. Begin to appreciate, recognize, and be conscious of that single thread that moves in and through every single thing in life. That is the way to what experience the glory of life. Thank you.
Thank you. For the benefit of those who would like to give Ethereum Mission something or maybe send some money to Ethereum Mission, please give us the phone numbers. I say the Momo numbers.
Okay. So the phone numbers for Ethereum Mission, which also doubles as our Momo mobile money numbers, and also our WhatsApp platform numbers are 0264 177 633 and 0548 177 633. So if you are touched by the work that we do and you want to support, you can send your support or donations to these numbers. And if you also want to be added to our WhatsApp platform so that you receive daily or weekly or monthly messages from us, you can also reach out on the numbers mentioned and we'll be happy to add you to our WhatsApp platform.
We are very privileged to have you on the show. I mean, we have learned so much. We are grateful.
My pleasure.
Have a wonderful evening and week.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Father, Mother God, lift my vision beyond duality and seeming opposites to that sacred vision of your one and indivisible self. O God, grant me the blessed vision that sees only your divine presence in and through all of life. You are the only power without opposite. There is nothing else besides you. You encompass the earth, the solar and other starry systems and galaxies. You alone are God. To you I surrender always, and from you I draw my power. So now, my spirit rises with the spirit of life, and the sound of my voice echoes in the hearts of all men.